You're going to need a scientific Python environment to get through this course, so if you don't have one already, like Canopy or Anaconda, I'm going to walk you through getting a copy of Enthought Canopy installed on your system, and we're going to use that throughout the course. So let's get you started. Let's get you set up with what you need for this course. So if you're a power user, here's kind of a cheat sheet of what you need to install in order to run the examples in this course. First thing you're going to need is a Python development environment, and you want to get the latest version of Enthought Canopy if you're new to this and you don't have one already. Version 1.6.2 or newer. So if you have an older version, you will need to update because they changed the version of IPython notebook files with that version of Canopy. So if you're using something else like Anaconda or something, that might be okay. As long as they can open version 4 notebook files, you should be in good shape. But if you're new to this, install Canopy because that will look more like what you see in this course. Then we're going to go to a command prompt and actually run pip from the shell to install the packages that we need. We need to install the scikit-learn, XLRD, and Py.2 packages. And if you're using another package like Anaconda, there's a different way of doing that using the conda command, I think it is. But within Canopy, that's what we're going to do. And then finally, from within Enthought Canopy's package manager, we're going to install stats models. We can't just use pip for that because it involves native compiled stuff, so we actually have to use Enthought's built-in package manager for that one. So let me walk you through it and show you what needs to be done. Let me walk you through getting everything installed. There's not a whole lot to go through here. So the first thing you're going to do is download and install Enthought Canopy, which is going to be our development environment for some of our scripts and also our Python installation on your computer. So head on over to enthought.com and we're going to click on the Downloads for Canopy section here. Just select the operating system that matches yours. For me, I'm on Windows 64-bit, so I'm going to leave those selected and hit Download Canopy, and this is the free version. That's all we need for this course. Download will start, and it's going to ask for some personal information. You don't have to give it to them, so I'm going to say no thanks. And we'll just wait for that to come down. Once it is downloaded, it is just a standard Windows installer on Windows, so let's go ahead and open that up and kick it off. Now note, I am installing version 1.6.2 of Canopy. If you are using an older version, you will need to update because the file formats that we're using in this course are not going to be compatible with earlier versions. So let me walk through this and accept the terms, and we'll let it do its thing. Off it goes. Now I do want to mention that while I was recording the slides for this course, Enthought came out with the 1.6 release of Canopy, and that means there's going to be some subtle differences between some of the stuff you see in the slides and what you actually see at home on your screen. The most noticeable difference is that when you open up the code in this course, it's not going to open up within Enthought Canopy directly. It's actually going to open up within a web browser, so don't be shocked by that. It's going to look the same and work the same way, but it will actually be working within your web browser like Chrome or Firefox as opposed to within the Canopy editor. And that is normal and that is expected, so don't be thrown off by that. There are also a few minor code changes here and there, mainly the main change being that you now have to explicitly import different packages that you didn't have to before. So you might see a few different import lines in the code in this new version. You might see some things where I'm explicitly telling it to inline graphs in the code, but 99.9% of the code is going to be identical, so don't get too hung up on any differences you see between the code in the video and the code on the actual code that you're downloading and working with. And here we have it. Let's go ahead and finish that, and we're going to let it launch Canopy when setup exits because we do want to move ahead and install some add-on packs. First, it's going to have to configure my environment first time it runs. Actually, skip that on mine. But for yours, it's probably doing that right now. All right, so what we're going to do once you get to this screen is click on the editor button. And you should see something like this. Now you should have a window like this at the bottom of the screen that is basically an interactive Python prompt. It's a shell where you can type in Python commands live and in real time. And if you don't see that, just go to the View menu and click on the Python option here, okay? So we're going to go down here. Click in that window and type in exclamation point. That basically means exit out to the shell for this next command. And we're going to type in pip install scikit_learn, just like that, okay? And what that's going to do is install an add-on package for Python called scikit-learn, and that contains a lot of the machine learning libraries that we're going to use in this course. So hit return. I already have it installed, so you, however, will see something different where it actually goes out and fetches it and installs it. You also want to install the XLRD package, XLRD, just like that. And again, my environment already has it, but on your system it will go out and fetch it for you. And this package just lets you import Microsoft Excel documents into Python. We are then going to install a package called py.2, and that is just a package, pip install py.2, just like that. And I already have that as well, but your system will go out and fetch it. And that just lets me make pretty pictures within Python, so that will let me visualize decision trees when we get to that lecture. Now the last thing we need is a package called stats models, and to do that we need to go back to the Canopy main menu here, this window here, and click on Package Manager. This package is a little bit different because it contains natively compiled stuff, so we have to actually do it through Canopy itself. So I'm going to search for stats models, just like that. And I want this one, the one that just says stats models. And for me it has a remove button, but for you there'll be an install button because you don't already have it. So go ahead and hit install on that. It will download a bunch of dependent packages and install them. And at that point you'll have everything you need for this course. So with that, let's move forward and start playing with some code. Hey, that's all you need for this whole course. You got all of your data, you got all your code, you got a development environment. That didn't take too long. So let's move ahead. Now you might be new to Python, maybe you need a little bit of a refresher, so up next we're going to do a couple of lectures just doing Python 101, some basics of Python coding, so let's do that next.